An early happy tax day, everybody. That's sarcasm, of course, because despite the recent efforts of the IRS to be more customer friendly, it's still really tough to find anyone who really enjoyed their last audit. In fact, the complications and frustrations of paying your national dues have spawned a cottage industry of sorts called tax resolution firms. Some make tempting promises, but all too often add another layer of misery. And tonight, Brian Ross investigates one firm you may know from TV.
In a kitchen in suburban Minneapolis, Charlene Lee, the mother of 2 young children, learned she was going to owe more to the IRS than she could pay, $42,000, after the sale of some family property.
I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to owe this money to the IRS. They're going to take my house away, all this stuff. I can't handle the IRS by myself because I've never had to do that.
I'm Patrick Cox, founder of TaxMasters.
Charlene thought she had found her answer on CNN.
We'll solve your tax problems.
The TV commercials featuring TaxMasters founder and CEO Patrick Cox saturate the cable news channels and make lots of promises for people having trouble with the IRS.
Our former IRS agents and tax professionals have helped many good people just like you.
But left out of the commercials is one key fact, that the company is under active investigation for deceptive practices in at least 2 states.
They're making outrageous promises, false promises, deception, lies, and they're capitalizing on this bad economy, and it's really unfortunate to take advantage of people who are already down on their luck.
Even so, the advertising campaign continues.
Don't wait any longer. Call right now to get started today.
Helping TaxMasters, operating out of this Houston office building, recruit thousands of new customers and bring in millions of dollars. And it's made Cox, once a small-time certified public accountant, a wealthy man, seen here outside the Houston mansion he bought 4 years ago.
Look at how angry I am.
In fact, the TaxMasters commercials are so prominent and prevalent, they've become the subject of widespread parody.
Wait a minute, I know what this is about. I do.
But there was nothing funny for Charlene Lee about her dealings with TaxMasters. After paying a big upfront fee, she says TaxMasters promised they could get her debt to the IRS down to only pennies on the dollar.
They told me, of course, not only can we help you with a payment plan, but we can probably get it down to 80%, 90%. That's what we do. And we handle cases like yours all of the time.
But that was great news.
That was amazing news. And all I had to do was give them a credit card right now, and they were going to start someone on it immediately.
But after charging the $4,800 upfront fee on her credit card, Charlene says TaxMasters' efforts to get her tax bill reduced failed completely. In the meantime, the IRS tacked down thousands of dollars more in penalties and interest.
I owe the original amount, and then now I owe penalties. And now my credit's ruined, which all could have been avoided if I just would have called the IRS myself.
So now you have to pay penalties in addition to the $42,000.
Yes, isn't that wonderful?
And it turns out there are hundreds of TaxMaster customers who have filed similar complaints with the attorneys general in Texas and Minnesota.
When you call, you think you're talking to a tax professional. You're really talking to just a salesperson who's trying to get you to sign up.
In fact, on TaxMaster's own website, the advertisement for so-called tax consultants last year was one looking for talented closers, previous tax knowledge not required. The company has since changed the language.
If you have to lie to a client to get money, you do it.
Until he was fired last year, he says for asking too many questions, they say for not performing well. Lloyd Lee headed the tax preparation unit at TaxMasters, where he says it was all about sales, with nowhere near enough staff to do the actual tax work.
They were 18 months behind in the process because you had all of this work coming in and not enough people to do it. And I never understood why they wouldn't.
Now you do.
Now I do.
And what's that?
Greed. Get as much in as you can, and don't worry about the consequences.
Lee, who says he got the backlog down to 4 to 6 months and now has his own tax business, says there's no doubt his former boss, Cox, knows exactly what he is doing, making promises that cannot be met. So he's selling the public a bill of goods here.
A bad bill of goods.
You're not paying the IRS any monies at all.
And tapes of actual TaxMaster customer phone calls reveal what officials call the deceit, including this one, in which the salesman promises the IRS will stop collection efforts once a customer hires TaxMasters.
It automatic. That's what the IRS consultation does. It pulls your name, pulls your number out of the collection process.
They don't stop collections from happening. In fact, when you hire this company, sometimes the situation even gets worse. They may garnish you. They may put down liens.
Your situation where you're at right now, financially.
In another call, the TaxMaster's so-called tax consultant claims the company could easily get back taxes reduced to pennies on a dollar.
You're owing $19,000. I mean, we can get you down to basically next to nothing. And our goal is to get you to zero. We're 97% successful.
Get you down to zero?
Get you down to zero, 97% successful. Not true. It's another falsehood of this company.
And again, this is somebody who is not a senior tax consultant.
It is not. It's a salesperson who's trying to get you to pay thousands of dollars to the company, not somebody with tax expertise.
So these are professional liars.
They are, absolutely.
We wanted to ask Cox about the allegations and complaints, but he declined to be interviewed. And we saw him leaving his mansion with a suitcase the day before we were to arrive in town. His company has denied any wrongdoing and says they deal with their customers in an honest way. In a statement, Cox said customers like Charlene Lee were not representative of his customer base. What would you say to Cox, who you trusted when you saw in the commercial? What would you say to him?
Shame on you for doing this to families. Shame on you. That's what I would say.
In the wake of the investigations, TaxMasters now says it's modifying some of its fee structures. But the investigations in Texas and Minnesota are continuing, as is the TV ad blitz. Fox News and CNN told us they are aware of the investigations, but have no current plans to pull the ads, which officials say are deceptive.